In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I made a 21 Pilots animation for their upcoming album, Breach. So when I created this animation, the contract was only a single day it released at that point, so all my animation assets are based on what was available at the time. And now I'm going to walk you guys through the project file, so let's get to After Effects. Alright, so here we are in After Effects. I'm going to break down this project for you right now. So let's play out the animation right here. And it's got a couple moving parts when it comes to the background. We got some glowing eyes in the back as well. And then we have some text on the bottom that's scrolling. So let's stop it right here and let's go straight from the bottom. So to start, we have this 4-color gradient, a couple colors, and then we have this red moving between the left and the right side. This is more so like a subtle piece I had. It's not moving too fast, but it's a little bit noticeable if you really look for it. Also have a vignette trying to encompass the whole thing, but yeah. 4-color gradient, it's kind of cool, have it moving back, and yeah, that's about it. That's nothing much more about that. The next part, we do have this compass thing on the bottom. So this is part of the contract teasers that they were doing. And let's click on this. So this is the Clancy text, seen a bunch of times in this era so far, but this compass is more so from the contract teasers. They basically had numbers that were scrolling, counting down each day until the contract was released, and they really kicked off the Breach era itself, or I guess Breach part of the Clancy era. It's really confusing sometimes. But yeah, I got a vignette, I got some other effects I didn't really use, transforming, and then some optics compensation. It was my first time using it. This really messed with the FOV. And really kind of transform this into a little more dynamic piece. It wasn't just a flat compass scrolling text, but this is kind of cool. This was the base layer. This came from Illustrator, and I brought it over in Overlord. But yeah, it has the Clancy text that's basically scrolling across, and then you just basically pre-comp that, and it's in the final compass text moving. And then this is brought into After Effects, and then I think it's this might be a 3D layer, yeah. So this is basically how I positioned it. Was like flattened, almost like they're standing on this, which is totally not like the actual official album cover, but I thought it'd be a cool different take to have it like this. So let's move up. We do have some texture, got from Adobe stock, and that's overlaid nicely just to make it a little more rough, not too clean. That was part of my vision as well, so make it a little more on the rougher side with this animation. We got the next image, which is the 21 Pilots name, and then the Breach logo wordmark thing. This was from Monster Designs. He does a great job at getting all these assets in pretty quickly, so this saved me some time from ripping this from the official artwork. And the next part, we have Tyler and Josh. So this is kind of cool. Had them photoshopped out and then brought in straight into After Effects. Nothing really changed from here. They were pretty fine. There was a bit of red that I need to cut out, I guess from Tyler's side, but once that's all done, it's pretty easy from there. And then the next part we have is the glowing eyes. Now this is pretty cool. So we see them on the sides and they're all glowing in a random order-ish kind of way. Now they are individually spaced out like this, each one of them. And I used a script from ChatGPT, and then I basically told it to give me some like opacity scripts when it came to trying to make them all randomized, but so they're not all playing in sequence. And I like how it came out. Each one of them is basically on their own like pattern, and they all go in enough randomized way that I'm pretty happy with how it turned out overall. So now we have the other part that didn't quite meet the cut. So to start, we're going to talk about the different compass when it came to what wasn't used. So in the teasers for the contract, like I said, they had the counting down the days with the glowing eyes as well. So I decided to not do that. So I decided to almost a little exercise, trying to see how they did it as well when it came to the countdown. And I didn't really have much of a need or I don't have a really purpose to put this anywhere. But I'm glad I did this because it's eventually turned into the official version when it came to the Clancy compass on the bottom of the comp. But this is just like a more so an exercise just to see get something going, and I'm glad it actually turned out to be to help out in the final product. And our next part that didn't quite make the cut was the I had the jacket moving that Josh is holding. So let's cut this out and then let's bring this in. So here is an unused version where Josh is holding the jacket, but it's moving itself. I didn't really think this worked that well. I feel like there was a lot of moving pieces already in this animation, and I think having this maybe a little bit distracting. But it's kind of cool. I used Motion 4's cloth feature. Let's bring it in here. This is a pre-comp right here. So I have 3 puppet pins on the jacket, and then the first one is magnetize. You designate that right here. And then once you do that, the first one, basically it's like an anchor point, and then the next 2 are gonna be waving around in like a semi-random order. And it's kind of cool how this works if After Effects doesn't crash for me. But yeah, it's slowly moving, kind of realistic, kind of spooky a bit, but I felt like it wasn't, it just was a little too much. But cloth, first time using it for Motion 4, kind of cool. Basically, here, frequency and amount, you can change like I said, the amount and the frequency of what you want the puppet pins to move, but it looked kind of cool. And I noticed in the, I saw some leaked versions of the Apple Music version for the animated album art, and they had the jacket moving as well. So it's kind of cool that they had the same thought process as I did a couple months earlier. But yeah, that's basically the whole animation itself. This one only took about a week or 2 to complete. Just a nice design exercise to really get the blood flowing, as the end of an era is going to be starting in about an hour or so as I'm making this video. So looking forward to listening to Breach itself. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. More content to come out in the future, and I hope you guys stick around and see that. So see ya.